Hello, and welcome back to our Star Citizen podcast. I'm Logic, and this is Obsessite.
Hello.
And we got a lot to get through today. We'll be doing a lot on mostly ATVs over the past month because we kind of skipped last week's ATV, or the last episode's ATV, because we just did the 3.0 schedule report, which was kind of a big deal at the time.
Yep.
So I guess they released a new schedule report yesterday or the day before yesterday, Friday.
Yeah, I haven't checked it out yet. It's been busy weekend.
Now made the release date a range between the 29th of June and the 15th or 14th of July. So it's a range.
Well, that's not too bad.
And they've dropped bind culling from 3.0.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you're telling me. I was hoping to get more than 25 frames.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll open, stick it on an Amazon EC2 region closer to you. That'll improve things. It did for me.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully they'll have one in sort of west coast of US as opposed to me having to go to either the Asia one or the East Coast one. So, but yeah. Anyway. Dear. So, where are we? Oh, yes. 442. We're going to do the one from ATV about the Javelin, I think.
Yeah, that's the first one I think we haven't covered.
Okay. Let's bring this bastard up. There it is. And so there was actually quite a lot of stuff in this one. Some basically... FOV was in there, I think, and sort of stamina effects and modular habitation modules. So, I guess we just go over them as they come up here. So, what's the first one? I'm going to skip to 3.05 here. Shit. Yeah. So, yeah, there's quite a range of these motions I noticed.
This is where they're talking about how stamina is going to affect your ability to even vault over things, and also how it's going to affect your aiming, which is pretty cool.
It's really good, because right now everything is just, it doesn't matter if you sprint all day and nothing happens,
Yep.
And
you got I got a breach in my suit. That's
nice.
Pretty cool.
I wonder how that affects your ability to shoot, whether the oxygen deprivation or something like causes you to, sort of similar to tired or whatnot.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I expect that it'll probably have some effect on how clear everything is. Things will probably start to blur, things like that. They haven't shown it yet, but I expect that'll be linked to it.
Okay. And then we have the cargo modules, the cargo interface, which is probably one of to me, the most fascinating things. They have a pretty interesting system of building those things too, but I think it looks really good. I really think looks really tight. Yeah,
when it all comes together, it's going to be amazing, and that's why we're still here talking about it. So many years after, and so many disappointments in them not hitting their dates, because we still believe it's going to be something impressive.
I still think this is going to be wicked, but it's just the amount of. They added things to the schedule report, if you noticed as well. They added like 4 new features to 3.0.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I really should do that.
But yeah, I mean, I think they added some other sort of insurance. They said they added some more detail to insurance, so it's a bit more in depth now.
Okay, there's the FOV bit going on in the video down below.
That got delayed a bit, but it's still within 3.0.
Yeah, was it the 25th of May?
Yeah.
Apparently it was supposed to be put in, so that might hit before 3.0 does.
Well, we'll see.
But I can't see him doing it, to be fair. It'll probably just be completed way in advance, which would be useful for some. As long as it's balanced, I don't mind.
Yeah, well, it's alpha, so, balance is a, tricky thing.
Work in progress.
Yeah. And see the field of view slider there, which looked pretty neat. I gotta like that.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be important for them to have that, and it'll be one thing that some game reviewers won't be able to pick them up on. Everybody seems to love having the FOV sliders, and if they're not missing, people lose points. I don't mind them really, but I guess I can remember back in the day playing, the original Quake and changing the field of view on that made a big difference to how easy it was to kill people. And it's the same now. I mean, if you have a setup which will allow you to run it on a high FOV, you do have an advantage over those that don't change it. But ultimately, everybody can change it, so it's not really an exploit. It's just people can't be asked to change it or don't want to,
or it makes them nauseous.
Oh yeah, there is that. The old fisheye effect if you have too high. Right. But yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with it per se. It's just it can give people an advantage. That's all.
Some nice new.
These
guns.
weapons look pretty cool. Yeah,
I know, right? Are they ship weapons or yeah, they did look like ship weapons actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the last one might have been the railgun.
I think I think maybe. I think you're right. I think you're right, actually. Okay, so that modular habitation looks pretty neat.
Yeah, it does. And with the item system, you'd be able to move things around as well. It's going to be pretty cool.
Do you think, like, you'd be able to decorate the modules? Say you like have one for yourself. Do you think, you'd be able to sort of put things wherever you want? Like, do you remember Star Wars Galaxies and how they implemented the system where it was a sort of, instead of a hook system like in most MMOs these days, it was just sort of like you could like adjust it to anywhere in the house, so you could put it anywhere. Like there was no hook system. It was just dump it in the house and you could move it around using like slider buttons and stuff. But
I don't think I ever actually saw that. I didn't really play Star Wars Galaxies that much, and I do regret it. I think I was playing EverQuest or something at the time, and for some reason I couldn't get on with Star Wars Galaxies.
But do you think this system here will be a sort of hook system for like when you have your own modules? Because they said we are definitely having our own areas.
Yeah. I think it'll be a combination with what you see in the hangars today, where you'll have places where you can hang your pictures and things, but smaller objects you'll be able to just stick wherever you want. You can literally just pick it up and put it there, and that's where it'll stay.
Right.
That's what I think.
If that's the case, then I will be super happy, because that is one of my biggest problems with housing systems in these MMOs, is that like you have to place it where they say you have to place it. It's like, what if I don't want to do that? And if in Star Wars Galaxies, you could come up with some crazy like walk into a house and it looks like a maze or something. You know what I mean? There was just so much like ingenuity and art in some of those house buildings.
Yeah, exactly. It will be. So it'll probably, again, like everything else, it'll be a system which is better than any other they've seen before, because they know what people want. Speaking of what people want, I love that Razor. It looks like such an awesome ship.
It doesn't look like a MISC ship, though. Come on.
I don't care. It looks like a Formula One car in space. But yeah, I know what you mean. It doesn't really look much like any of the other ships that MISC have done.
I know, but like if you look like at Drake, when you look at a Drake ship, you go, "That's a Drake ship." There's no mistaking them. And same with Anvil. I mean, there's pretty much no way of mistaking an Anvil ship or an Aegis ship, really. But that MISC ship really doesn't come into line with the rest of their style. But whatever.
No, it sticks out. Even the oh sugar! What's the little mini hauler? What's the mini hauler called that MISC done? The Reliant. Even the Reliant looks similar to the other MISC ships. You can tell it's a MISC ship, right?
Right.
But the Razor, like you are right, it sticks out. But maybe there'll be something in the lore. I never actually read the Q&A about it, so maybe it's MISC only because they're the ones who actually paid for it to be developed rather than they actually created it in house. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a meat-looking shotgun.
It is. I love the little smoke coming out the side. That's pretty neat. Special effects there.
Yeah, I think this is where they're talking about the GPU-driven trails and stuff, or that might be later on, looking at my notes. Here's the ridiculous railgun. Look at that.
I know,
looks
but
pretty cool.
Like, I think this is the transitions from like crouching to, velocity. Did he lose velocity when he jumped off there? Doesn't look like he did.
Didn't look like it, no.
Yeah, okay.
Again, everything looks like it's coming together nicely. And again, the stuff that they show in these videos it's in the 3.0 release stream, which is newer than what we currently have.
Yeah, by 9 months or something like that, right?
Exactly. So that's why everything looks so much crisper than what we have, is because it's a completely different
Branch.
branch. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so yeah, I mean, then we have I think the javelin coming up in a minute on this little video here.
Yeah.
Oh, mocap right there. Did you see the Mark Hamill mocap thing for May the 4th be with you?
Yeah, yeah. It looks pretty cool. I think that's one of the last things we've got to talk about when we
Yeah.
get to the end. But yeah, it was great to see his character in Engine again, and building a bit of hype for the Squadron 42.
Yes, I know. Apparently there was Ben posted something about May the 42nd or something, like a big announcement. Like, I don't know what that was about. I mean, I guess that's to do with whether
May the 4th, May 42,
I know,
Squadron 42. I don't know.
maybe I was hoping it was like maybe sometime in May they'll release the release date for Squadron 42 or something. That would, I was like, oh, that's just
Maybe.
wishful thinking.
It could be a really obscure little hint by Ben.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time.
No.
I mean, look how realistic that character looks, and the lighting.
Miles Eckhart. He's going to be the big mission giver.
What's he doing on a bloody javelin?
He's the captain of a captain of a javelin. So
That bridge is massive.
it is.
I was a couple of the Facebook groups I'm in, and there's Mark Hamill's character there. Look, he had people saying, "Oh, why can't I fly my javelin on my own?" Really? Have you seen how big the bloody thing is? Don't be silly.
Yeah, it would be nice though if you could have some sort of like like a free flight in Arena Commander. If you could like just get in the javelin. I mean, maybe they're just keeping it so the Squadron 42 is all brand new and crisp and it's not like a surprise or anything.
Well, maybe, but again, you wouldn't be able to use it effectively on your own.
It's not about being effective. This is an alpha. This is about just
no. This was some guy talking about the games when it's released, not in the alpha. I want to be able to take advantage of my investment by playing on my own. It's like, well, I just can't see it happening. But that's a conversation for another day, perhaps.
Yeah. I just think that if something is done, unless like I'm assuming they're keeping the Javelin and the Idris back because they want it to be a surprise for Squadron. But I mean, I would still want to see them so badly. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, if you've spent, over $1,000 on an Idris, then sure, you would be champion at the bit to run around it. But obviously, they have to understand, these people who've bought them, that they are key assets for the Squadron story. And by having them out there, everyone will do YouTube videos and everybody will know what the layout is and nothing will be a surprise. So it'll ruin, in a way, the experience of the game. So yeah. I support CIG's stance on it from that perspective, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I really wanted to be like everything to be a surprise when I first do Squadron. I wanted to be like, well, not everything, but a lot of it to be like, yes, this is awesome, and just go exploring, But
exactly, and there's a hell of a lot of ship to explore.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I can't even imagine having that in the universe. It's just going to be insane if they ever manage to get it so you can fly and have a fight with 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them.
I'd still love to see a Star Marine game mode where you basically have combined arms and the objective is to get to the enemy Idris and blow it up.
They mentioned something like that where it would be a sort of combined arms thing coming in the future. So I don't.
Did you ever play Battlefield 2142?
I did briefly.
Because they had that Titan mode, didn't they, where you end up having to blow up the enemy Titan. So that'd be great if they could put that in Star Marine. I'd be playing that all the time.
It was like Counter-Strike where you have like the defending teams on the Javelin and you guys have to board and assault the bridge. That would be pretty neat. That would actually make me want to play Star Marine on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm expecting that they will bring out objective-based maps rather than just capture the laptop, which is what they've got at the moment. But we'll see.
But the thing is that they have these maps that are just, I'm sure they're it'll be in the PU somewhere, Damien Station and Echo 11. But I don't see why you couldn't just say your goal in the Star Marine mission. You start in a ship, say like a Hornet, and you have to board the Javelin. That's part of the the mission, and then assault the bridge. I think that there's no real map in that. You know, like they have the map already. You know, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Anyway, so let's move.
It's just the detail on this ship is nuts. It's like an asset from any film.
Yeah, it is.
It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's got more detail than the Battlestar Galactica asset from the recent series.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think it's bigger, isn't it? How big was that one? I forget, but
I don't know.
Big.
Pretty big.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the Pegasus will be bigger than that anyway, because that's the one even bigger than the Javelin, and that's the carrier, I believe. So.
Yeah, I just can't imagine they'd sell those to players.
No,
I just can't see it.
It's bigger than the Bengal as well, like the Pegasus, which is like what? Bigger than the Bengal? The Bengal's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know whether a Javelin can actually dock inside a Bengal, but I think the Idris can.
Oh, in a Bengal? Really? That's nuts.
Yeah, I read that. I read that somewhere.
And a Bengal could probably dock inside a Pegasus?
Like Russian dolls.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
And then right at the end, it spits out us in our single-seaters.
Yeah. Caterpillar, and then you get the Argo or something coming out of the caterpillar.
Or a bloody dragonfly.
Right.
That'd be right at the other end, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, dear. There was a couple of videos this week of they're working on the Ursa rover, which I thought was done, but maybe they're just tweaking it. Okay, I guess we should...
Who knows? Maybe somebody had an Extra Sketch moment and thought, fuck it, I'm not happy with this, do it again.
I think they need to stop with the redux, you know, the redos. Yeah. You know, I think they've just, you know, go with what you got, guys. Come on, otherwise this game's going to go on forever.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, sorry, we have to redo the Idris. It's not quite up to our standards. You're like...
That'd very much be an awful lot of people posting Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker and as on the Empire after you. I'm your father. No, that's not possible. Can you imagine? It'd be ridiculous. The forums would melt. So we're moving on to the Bano episode now, yeah?
Yes, we are. I think the Javelin is awesome, but we got to get through these videos. So Banu, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Defender. I have to be fair.
I've got one, and I kind of already regret upgrading the ship I did to it, mainly because of the fact that it might be a little bit niche. But I just like the look of it. It looks interesting, but we'll see. At the end of the day, I can always upgrade that to something better. You know what I mean? So it's not the end of the day, end of the world.
I guess heat in this video right at the beginning is the heat systems. They talked about the heat systems where the coolers can provide IR signature masking, which is pretty. I think a lot of this is going to be so many like intricate systems added in 3.0 that I think it should keep people busy for like min-maxing style for a long time.
Yeah, there's going to be so much meta going on.
Yeah,
loads of tweaking. You know, like you'll have a Hornet Ghost, you know, which has been engineered to be even stealthier than it already is. You know, and you might even have stealthy caterpillars.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well,
do you think when you're like, I'm pretty sure this is going to happen, but like, say you're in a dogfight with someone and they like go ghost, they ghost you, so but you still be able to visually see them, right? But you wouldn't be able to track them with your system. Am I right in that?
Yeah, I would have thought so. We haven't really seen the signature masking in the game yet, but the way I expect it will happen will be similar to the way it's done in Elite Dangerous, where the ship will basically close all of its external vents, stop venting heat and therefore signature, and it'll be invisible to sensors. But you'll still have the ability to track it IR, if you know what I mean, because obviously it's still going to have heat inside it.
Right, but that's what I am asking coolers for.
Oh yeah, sure, but the other way is obviously the actual thermal thing itself. But they'll only be able to do it for a while before they have to vent, otherwise they'll cook themselves.
Right, But I'm thinking that my thing is like, if they do kind of ghost you and disappear off your, like, the red icon that follows the ships around.
Yeah.
Do you think that you still be able to like visually? It's not a stealth thing, is it? It's not like invisibility or anything. It's just
No.
It's just
You'll be able to, the naked eye, so the Mark 1 eyeballs, you'll be able to see it. You just have to keep your eyes peeled, basically.
Right.
The system won't be able to track it. You'll have to, go into fixed gimbal.
Right.
Fixed gimbal, and then literally just shoot it where it is, rather than where your computer thinks it is, because it can't see it.
Right. Okay. So that to me is a really cool gameplay mechanic of like in a dogfight, someone ghosts you, you can't find them, and then they fucking come out of nowhere and just right up behind you and blow you away. It's yeah.
There's going to be lots of stuff like that going on.
Yeah.
And they'll also be great to combat it too.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, but like better sensors and like and stuff like that. But I'm still a little worried about these like mid-range ships, like the Constellation, the Caterpillar, even the Terrapin is sort of a half like style, like it's more like a Freelancer or a Cutlass.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my ships fit in that bracket, and it's quite crowded. You know what I mean?
Well, my question is how are they going to deal? Like a Constellation ship should be able to destroy a single-seater fighter. There should not be a point where a Constellation goes, "Oh, one guy in a ship can destroy me," unless they're sitting there letting him do it. You know what I mean? Because the size of the ship, the shield generator should be that big, should be able to prevent it, and you should have enough guns to defend yourself. So I don't really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, at the moment, the Constellation sucks if you're trying to fly it on your own. Even though you got those 4 massive gimbaled guns that the pilot controls and all those missiles, it's not particularly maneuverable, and the shield generators are effectively no different than what you have in a fighter. So they haven't implemented the size of shields that the Constellation should have. Because like you say, I mean, it should be able to soak up damage from anything but a heavy fighter. Like if a Super Hornet's shooting at it, then sure, its shields will get damaged and you'll have to be careful. But if something like a
350R,
325 or something was attacking it, then you should be able to shake that off. But without gunners, the Constellation at the moment isn't particularly viable in a dogfight as a solo player, which is a real shame.
It's turrets. I mean, that's one of the issues. I mean,
yeah, the turrets aren't controlled by the pilot. And also, without players, there's no AI. Yeah, you can't aim them. I mean, apparently 3.0 is going to fix that, but we'll see. This was a really cool bit of footage they showed flying through that canyon. Yeah. There was a fair bit of pop-up still, but I'm sure that'll go away on release.
Later on, I think there's a video in the last ATV of them going from like pupil to planet thing again, where they like start on the ground and they zoom all the way out. And the pop-in is now quite limited, at least on the moons, where there's very little vegetation. So it's getting there. It's getting there. Definitely getting there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure when we get to see it, it will be hardly noticeable apart from on relatively lower end machines.
Yeah, I hope so, because pop-in is one of the biggest killers for me in it. Like I play Black Desert Online, and that game has the most crazy pop-in. Like it's like, come on, guys, you can't come up with a better engine system than like that.
It ruins immersion, doesn't it?
It does.
Because that's one of the things which just takes you out of the game when you see all of a sudden things just boop. You're like,
there wasn't a tree there. Now there is a tree there. I mean, I'm standing 6 foot away from it, sort of thing. You're like, yeah, that definitely and it irks me. Is all I saw.
Sure. Yeah, I'm showing the start-stop animations, which are looking pretty good.
Yeah. This is a lot of the compiling stuff, sort of improving compilation and.
They've been sharing an awful lot of information on that recently, which I've been quite impressed with how open they've been about some of the back-end systems.
It's pretty interesting for me, at least. I mean, I find it interesting. A lot of people will probably be like, "Yeah, this ATV sucks. It's just." There's no like cool graphics, but yeah, it interests me quite a bit in terms of these automated tools they've used to find errors and compilation errors in the code. So it's interesting to me, but I'm a coder, so.
Yeah, exactly. From a systems design and systems management perspective, I can relate to the choices they've made especially the most recent ATV when they were talking about the network side of it. That was impressive. I was even able to work out one of the monitoring tools they use, which is quite good.
Well, here we go. So this is how they're gonna create character loadouts, it would appear. I think that's what it said anyway. Let me adjust this. This is just... Oh, this was the character guy with the heavy armor and the hooks on the back of him and stuff.
Yeah, it looks awesome. You would not mess with somebody in that heavy armor, would you?
No, but the amount of hooks that guy... Look how many hooks he's got. He's got like 3 grenades on the front and 4 grenades on the front. My bad.
Yeah.
I mean...
I just love the way everything moves as you'd expect it to.
Well, that's the physics system.
Yeah.
On a pivot point. Oh, look at that. Jiggling around.
Yeah.
It looks
awesome.
And they're getting good. I really am interested to see this Titan armor suit thing, the exoskeleton, which is more like the sort of like thing from Alien, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be a load lifter, but yeah, it'll be pretty cool to see what they do with it.
It will, like, because the heavy armor's already pretty beefy. I mean, and just imagining that guy, like the heavy armor guy, standing in one of those things.
As long as it's not like the oh shit, I've forgotten what they're called. The exosuits in PlanetSide, where you just end up having 2 massive weapons on your arm. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Like a little.
Well,
like,
again, as long as it's balanced, you can only have 1 per team. Then I suppose it doesn't really matter.
Well, they'll be in the PU too, so I mean, because they'll be apparently they were saying they'd be used to defend planets from ships, like on like say you have a base, because like right now if you're shooting your gun at a dogfighter that's floating in the air, you're pretty much done for, as they sort of showed in that Gamescom video where the guy just got blown away at the very end. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So yeah, they figured they needed something that bridges that gap between being able to defend from the ground and, so you could take down a ship, but, you probably only take 1 or 2 hits from a ship.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the exosuit will have a shield generator, but it'll certainly give you a bit more protected than a standard infantry armor.
That'd be neat. Shield, a little tiny power plant on the back. That'd be cool. I could do with that. Run around like... just squashing people.
So literally, I'm just going to be flying about, and I'll just lob you out of the cargo hold so you can start shooting things. Is it?
Will it be like what's that movie or game where the exo guy jumps out of the ship at like 30,000 feet and then lands? Oh, it's like Iron Man basically.
Oh, and Halo.
Right, when he lands on the ground just in this big exo suit and after jumping with no parachute.
Yeah. The Mjolnir armor, where you can actually survive a fall from orbit, but you can't swim. Game science is funny.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so we did the Terrapin white box and the Aurora thing.
Yeah, that was going on in the background. We didn't really talk about it, but it does look impressive what they're doing. The rework of the Aurora especially does look like it's going to improve things no end. And obviously it's nice to see the Terrapins being worked on too.
We have the Banu. What do you think of the Banu?
Well, they're supposed to be reptilian, but they look more like Groot's grandfather in that picture. You know what I mean? They almost look like trees. But
they're not plant-based, right? Are they not?
No, they're reptiles.
Okay.
So they've made them look a little bit different than they originally did. There's been a lot of hoo-ha on the forums about people saying, "Oh, they've changed the aliens from their original design." And I have to admit, with the Zion, they look more like Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles than the previous art. But
Xian,
Zion, whatever. I know Chris Roberts calls him John, doesn't he?
John.
John.
Yeah.
So we'll have to call him. Use that, won't we? Because that's the official pronunciation.
John.
The John. Yeah, they look like turtles. I always thought
they got a little tubia. They got a little tubia, didn't they?
Yeah, it happens. It's been a few years, But no, the John. I always thought they were supposed to be reptilian. Avian, like birds, but no, they look more like turtles these days. But maybe I got the wrong end of the stick.
Did you see the Van Duel picture as well? That thing.
Yeah, they've changed them a bit.
Slightly, yeah. They have.
Understatement, perhaps, but these things have to be, iterated on. That's the whole point of design.
I'm sure they'll have to like redo them entirely, just like they do with the ships.
Well, if you can imagine, at the moment, all we're seeing is just the basic, well, not basic, the skins for them, but they're not animated. But you can imagine when they're talking and stuff, it'll look awesome. You have to build these things and have a design that works for when they're actually been animated as well.
Yeah.
Totally wouldn't want one of them to headbutt you, would you? Oh, did it?
Yeah. I don't know. I was hoping for something. I do like the Van Duel. I think they're an interesting model. I don't particularly like the Banu or the Xian.
John.
Yeah. Not, at least not yet, but maybe I'll change my mind when they're in game, which I don't know when that's going to happen. But
no. I mean, there's so much work to do to get the aliens in. They've had their work cut out just to get the human stuff in, and the duel and the Van Duel, of course. But they'll come. I mean, we'll see humans, then we'll see the Van Duel, and then we might see some probably Banu next. The other ones are more niche and haven't been talked about as much, so they'll probably come later.
Well, I think they'll probably end up. Maybe they'll release the Banu when the Merchantman comes out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Moby Dick, isn't it? The great white whale of the Merchantman, which everyone's been waiting for ages.
And now that thing is like a capital ship. Apparently, it's as big as the.
It's got a bit bigger.
It's got a lot bigger, mate. It's as big as the what's that big like Corvette style ship? The humans one.
The Idris?
No, the one below that. The one that's like
the Polaris.
Polaris, yeah. So the Banu Merchantman now is basically a Banu Polaris.
Well, I'm happy I got one of those.
A Polaris or the Banu Merchantman?
Merchantman.
And I'm probably sure the price will increase.
I was really lucky because I had my a Vanguard Warden, and I had a zero cost CCU from a Warden to a Merchantman, and I applied that just before the resale came on when it went up in price. But obviously my CCUs wouldn't have changed in value anyway. But obviously I got a lot more for my money.
Yeah, well, the Merchantman is going to be equivalent to like what the Polaris is right now, 700 or something like that. I think it is. I think the Polaris is like 700, at least when it came out first.
700 feet or
dollars.
700 bucks. Yeah, well, maybe.
And I think the Merchantman may end up heading that direction too, because you got the Caterpillar, which is like 200-300, I think, and the Banu Merchantman is going to be like 4 times the size. So
I don't know. I mean, that's double what it's currently worth at the moment. That'd be a hell of a. Oh yeah, sure, but it'd be a hell of a bloody price uptick.
It would be.
I mean, I'll be happy if I can CCU my Merchantman to a Polaris for no cost later on. Happy days.
You get bonus money.
But it does look cool, and it looks huge too. But ultimately, it's just going to be a flying shop, really. Yeah,
I'm curious why they decided to like make it from Caterpillar size to Polaris size. I'm curious what maybe they were looking for a capital ship for the Banu, and they couldn't. They were like, oh, we'll just make the Merchantman bigger.
I think they always planned for the Merchantman to be quite a big ship from the original concept art, but I think they must have been forced to do it for perhaps the law, maybe. The law made them make just like the Merchantman and the Defender, because the law behind the Defender is, of course, that it's been designed for a long time, but lots of systems have been upgraded based on the best of whatever's been acquired from other races. So you've got the Tavaran shields and the Jan engines.
Yeah,
it's going to look pretty cool, but again, I'm not sure whether it's worth more than a Super Hornet. We'll find out.
No, I mean the alien ships are all looking pretty good. Like the Prowler looks really tight. There's the alien ships. I really like the way they're going. I don't particularly like the way the Defender is set up with the whole like cockpit blocking arms.
Yeah, that's been confirmed as being redesigned though. They'll redesign that to improve visibility. Because at the moment it's pretty much like a racehorse. You're blinkered, aren't you? It's like, I'm going to get him. I have no idea what's coming left or right, but I'm going to get him.
Yeah, it's wearing things on the eyes. So there it is. There's the Defender.
I just love what it looks like when it's landed. It's kind of
It
cool. It looks
does
like
look good
it looks like a
landed.
big gorilla, doesn't it?
Yeah, those arms. It does look like a big gorilla. Maybe those arms will like pull back, like into the side of the ship when you're in flight mode or something like that. You know what I mean? Like sort of like on a rails.
Oh, okay, right. So when you're not in combat mode, they're off to the side, and then when you need to, they push forward so you can
Right.
use the guns.
So like they're out here sort of thing, and then when you're in flight mode, they come back to sort of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Maybe.
I think that's a good way to go. I think that would keep the sort of feel of the ship from the original concept, but also allow you to fly the ship.
Yeah, they'll need to make sure that there's defined roles between the pilot and the co-pilot when a human's flying it. Because if every pod can do everything, and you get people disagreeing, you'll end up basically go, I want to go here. No, I want to go here. I've got the controls. Oh, fuck off. I've got them as well. It could be argy-bargy. But yeah, it does look cool. But again, it's another one of these things which will probably take until next year this time before we even see it in the hangar.
Yeah, if that. I mean, the Merchantman's due out in May.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
May of 2018. I don't know. I mean, it really depends.
Can you imagine the vitriol if the Banu Merchantman was hangar ready before the Idris was? They would just
the Idris is
explode.
hangar ready now. It's hangar ready. They're just not giving it to us.
Yeah, we need to have at least episode 1 of Squadron before they give it out. I still think we're going to see that before Christmas.
Never gonna happen, buddy. Never gonna happen.
Okay.
It's a nice
We'll
thought.
see.
I particularly love to see it in the summertime, but with 3.0, like I said a few weeks ago, actually, I don't think we'll see 3.0 until August, and it's looking that way right now. Like it's slowly progressing, the slow march of death through July.
Yeah, you might end up being closer than I was in the end.
Yeah. I think it will be Gamescom. I think we're either, but I think there'll be a lot more to 3.0 than there is now. I think what they'll do is Gamescom 3.0, but they'll add a lot of the stuff that was going to be in 3.1. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they delay it past August, they may as well just wang some of the 3.1 features in and bring it out for Gamescom with a big fanfare and and a huge.
I think that would be a perfect
sale.
Release. Gamescom will be really good for them. It was last year. It was huge for them. It's when 3.0 became a reality and where things started kicking off. At least for me, you know.
But if it's not out by Gamescom, then Jeebus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean the whole network buying culling thing disappearing from the schedule is a bit of concern. And
yeah,
bit disappointing. But anyway. Oh God, not the loyalty program.
Oh fucking hell! No, let's not talk about that. What a nightmare!
I know, right?
Just go away, you fucking. Sorry. The biggest issue I have with it is that it's not a standing start for everybody. And I think it's the fact that everybody's lifetime referrals count for this competition. So people who've been pimping their referral code since day one and have already got 1,000 or more.
See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that.
Did you not?
No, I'm just talking about the
man.
reward system.
I've got one person, right? That's how many I've got.
0.
No, I only got that this week. Because then one of my mates was like, "Oh, what's this Star Citizen shit talking all about then, Jez? Go on, tell me." And I was like, "Right, okay, blah blah blah." And he's bought a $70-odd package so he could have Squadron and what have you. So I got my one for that, but I'm certainly not going to get 2042 or whatever it is for the.
I don't know. I'm really reticent to give out because to me the game is not in a place where I can go to someone I know and say, "You got to try this game." It's not there yet.
You don't think that some people who like the old school space sims, like
I don't know anyone who's like that into space sims. That they're willing to.
Yeah, you do, but I've already bought it.
I know.
I mean, the only people we know is the people we went to uni with, and some of them just don't have the time anymore.
But even people out here, like I have some friends who play games out here, and there's I mean, I don't know anyone who's like super into like who played Elite, the original, like I did, and this is a very to me it's a niche market. So the flight sim market.
Still, hopefully that'll improve.
But
I mean, go on.
When 3.0 comes out, there's a game there. There's a trade game. There's smuggling. There's planets. There's something tangible. You can go. You got to try this. This is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so for some people, what's in Arena Commander and Star Marine is still a game, and I know a lot of people.
No, it is. I think it's a game.
Who play that all the time just because they enjoy it.
Yeah, I play it all the time too. But it is a game. But unless you're really into that, it's not really.
Exactly. Oh, very quickly, have you tried the Quake Champions closed beta yet?
No, I've been working on the house. So.
Awesome. I recommend it. I won't say anything because, of course, I think it's under an NDA, but it reminds me of when I used to play the original Quake back in the day, so it's worth a shout. But anyway, moving on.
Well, no, I love Quake back in the day too, so yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said. That's why I mentioned it.
Right. Quake. I guess I feel a little old for FPS games these days, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Less Twitch.
And very, very much the hide round the corner and stab him in the back bit rather than because using experience and veteran tactics to I can shoot you up the nose whilst jumping around 360 and lobbing a grenade in that guy's face.
Have you noticed that? I just noticed there in that video that what's that place? The Levski is Dalmar. The landing zone, but it's changed. It's completely changed. Like you remember it from the video, where it was like this, like in the side of the mountain, and then you just kind of float in and land, and you walk through. But now this has become a whole thing. It's
this is new. What they're adding here is the ability for people to actually rock up in their surface vehicles to access Levski rather than just having to land in the docking base.
But do you think the docking base is still there, or do you think that?
Yeah, they're still there. We actually saw them right at the beginning. There's like those 4 landing pads.
Mm-hmm.
They are still there, but obviously you've got the ability to go up and get into a surface vehicle to go and explore or do quests. Because I expect there'll be missions to do that you're given at Levski, which you can do in land vehicles on the same planet, and that does look awesome.
Now, that's one of the biggest parts for me. There's a space sim. Have you ever seen that space sim that someone posted on Reddit recently? And I looked at it, and basically it has, the graphics is very similar to Star Citizen, where it's just basically a simulator where you can go to a planet that has like 3 moons and whatever and rings around it, and that's the biggest part of the game for me is being able to land on the planet, isn't it? Yeah, it's Star Space something. I think it's Space something, but I want to be able to land on the planet and then see 4 moons in the distance coming up over the horizon. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. It's just amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even though these are largely crafted with procedural generation for the extra bits, it's still going to be cool just to land anywhere random, get out and walk about and go, yeah, this is awesome.
Well, look at that atmospheric clouds there. And the geysers. And why do moons always look so washed out?
Yeah, you know what? The one thing struck me when I was seeing that, and I don't know whether it's just because of the perspective, but those geysers, they've just been stuck on the surface. They didn't seem to be blending into the rest of the landscape.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what just struck me when I was looking at it.
It looks
as cool as they are, but
it looks like a work in progress, basically. Still,
yeah,
which it might be,
It's Levski again now, I think, is it?
Yes, Levski, yeah. Which is fine. I think there'll be a lot of battles in Levski right there. People rocking up in their vans and trucks and whatever. Just and running people over like Carmageddon.
Oh, yeah, that was a brilliant game. But not so much fun if you play it again these days. Or dickheads just literally scraping their caterpillars across the ground and wiping everybody off out. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. The fun that's going to, that's going to be interesting. I got to be fair. Anyway, movement speed.
Which one are we on now? Are we still on the same one, or we moved over to?
No, we're still on. We're on breaking the game now.
Oh, okay. Because that was the week before last, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Frankfurt update with the VFX. That's what the planets were. The Frankfurt.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The fact that it doesn't look much, but when you think of the logic that goes behind it, and how the guy changes his movement speed and the animations based on how much the velocity they're putting behind it and his direction. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty intense. Okay, so what are we at? What did happen on that breaking the game one? There was just the planets.
So we got Delamar and all the rest of it. Foot constrained locomotion, which is what we were looking at there. They were talking about skinning and weapons being worked on. Where are we here?
And then we have NPCs and their animations on a ship. I think that's the Idris, I think, but Javelin. Yeah, I mean, so I think the last ATV was pretty. Not this one, but the one this week was pretty meh. But I mean, they gotta have lulls, haven't they? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I made a fair old bunch of notes on this week's ATV, but a lot of it was not so much. There was progress in the game, but there was a lot of background information on the technology that runs the game.
Right. It was more background stuff, less in-game information.
But I think the last couple, the ones that we're covering today, there's been so much information given out that maybe they ran out.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Although, it would be nice if they, to me, like the solar system, seeing how releasing information about how you're gonna, what the size of the solar, sort of more detailed information, the size of the solar system, how long it would take to travel between planets, and how the sort of planet map system is going to work, and that kind of information, I think would be perfectly doable, and would make an interesting ATV about how the solar system is going to be laid out.
Yeah, or maybe some more information on Solid and how that works. If they did a happy hour where it was literally, let's just create a random solar system from scratch, like they did with creating that, was it Space Whales or something?
Yeah, Space Whales.
They did that, but create a random solar system, which isn't going to go into the game, but how it works, that'd be pretty cool. Because it might not be much use as far as definitive game information, but it shows off the system that they're using to create these things.
Oh, space. Sean Tracy just loves his space whales, I swear to God. All he talks about is space whales, space whales.
Yeah. That was quite an interesting happy hour. Did you watch it?
I did, yeah. It was interesting. I definitely, I thought it was very good. I mean, it's not as interesting for everybody, but it definitely interested me. And these look awesome. Inside
this is pretty cool. The different lighting
modes. Yeah. Hydroponics right there. Airlock. I guess if they're on a planet with no atmosphere, you would need an airlock.
Yep. It would suck if you didn't, literally.
Oh, your bad puns.
Oh, they're awful. I think they've got worse. They got worse as when I became a father.
Why? Because
I think
you
over the last over the last 8 years, they've been getting progressively worse.
Yeah, you got to torture the children. So.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
But not literally, because that would be wrong.
Well, it is literal torture, listening to your bad puns.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Yeah. No,
well, to be fair,
they're pretty good.
Some of them actually do go over their head. There'll probably be a lot more groaning going on when they actually do understand what they're about. Like, oh, God, shut up, Dad.
Oh, dear. Anyway, what have we got next?
Oh, I thought that dude looked like the Doctor, but it wasn't him.
So, new guns. Ooh, that's a new one. Is that the plasma?
That's an alien gun.
Ooh, a night bridge. Arms. Ship weapons. I think they're going to completely change the ship weapons in 3.0. I think there's just going to be like setups of like the Omski. There'll be all the Omski range.
That one might be one of the two Vandal weapons they said they were working on. Because they said here they were working on new FPS missions, 2 Vandal weapons, 7 human weapons, and the first pass on the wet ship weapon, the Night Bridge Arm ballistic cannons, which are size 2 and size 3, which would be pretty cool.
They said recently that they're going to have like all the Omski will be available, and it looks like we will be able to purchase ship weapons in 3.0, from what I can gather. Be able to like buy all the Omskis, and stuff. I don't know. They haven't said anything about purchasing ships yet. At
Well,
least,
with Alpha UEC.
yeah, ship weapons will be purchasable with Alpha UEC. It looks like, but nothing on ships yet.
Okay.
So,
Wonder what they're gonna do with Voyager Direct if they allow you to do that in the PU to buy them in game, which isn't associated with actual UEC you've bought. If you know what I mean.
yeah.
But this is that video you were talking about right at the beginning, where you
watch.
went from
There is some pop up.
Yeah.
There is some pop up, but it's very limited.
Yeah, and this is so cool.
Yeah, there is.
I actually played this backwards just because I'm that sad, and I was really impressed.
Let's start again. So watch this. There's some pop in when you get to the mid ranges, and the rocks start disappearing. But watch, you can see the pop in right there.
Yeah,
and there's
the
some more
bush
coming
disappeared.
up. Yeah, that rock right there in the middle. So yeah, there is. It's very good though. I mean, it's probably the best pop system I've seen of like pulling out and seeing limited pop in.
But it just shows you just how bloody huge that moon is. I mean, is that Dalamar?
No idea. Didn't look like any of them. It didn't look like Selin. Didn't look like Dalamar. Didn't look like Daymar.
But it does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
because one of the main gripes I have with Elite Dangerous, which I play quite a bit still, is that when you fly between space and planet, there's a blatant loading screen. I'll be so happy if there isn't going to be anything like this in this when it's actually released, because that's brilliant. Because that's the one thing that I wish Elite Dangerous got rid of, was the stupid bloody loading screen.
Yeah, well,
because it just destroys the immersion. The same when you drop out of frame shift into a system. There's a loading screen. It's just annoying. Get rid of that, and the game would be much better.
Are you sure that's not such a computer?
No, it does it on the computer and the Xbox.
Okay.
Cheeky bugger. It's not my bloody computer. It's not that old.
I'm just teasing.
It is. I know.
Okay. So what do we got else on this episode? What was there? Lighting team, ship AI.
This is all about the QA team, which is quite, again, an interesting segment on what they have to do before we even get the next release.
Yeah, I mean, QA
they have to just try and break it.
Super important, but it's not the sexiest subject in the world.
No, but I think this is why they call it breaking the game, because literally that's what these guys do. Right. They try to do things which would cause the game to fall over, so we don't have to do that, or we don't experience that when we're playing.
Oh, recently I swapped game packages. I upgraded to the core Reliant.
Well, that's a good ship. I've made a couple of changes over the last couple of weeks. I've got I melted some ships which I didn't need. I got hold of a Dragonfly Yellow Jacket. I melted the Dragonfly Black and the X80 whatever it is, the fancy Origin one that you get with the 900.
Archimedes? No, not the Archimedes.
No, the 85X.
Oh, the 85.
So I melted those two, which gave me enough money to buy back the Reliant Core, which I bought originally when it was first LTI, which is a ridiculous bargain. It was like $60 for an LTI ship with a package.
That core, it needs some upgrades. It needs tweaking. It needs more weapons. It needs
there's the fighter variant though, isn't there?
I know, but even the cargo variant, it has like one size 3 and one size 1 or something. It needs it feels off balance, because on one end there's no weapon, and there's one on either one. There's one on one end, but not on the other end. It feels like when you're firing the gun, it feels off. But I think if they stuck another weapon on the other end of the ship when it flips, I think it would be a much more balanced ship and be able to do a lot of things. But
I'm not sure whether that's a tractor beam.
It is
on the base. I think it is. The one on the other end is a tractor beam that you can use for moving stuff about. But anyway, I upgraded that to a Gladius Valiant, because that was available for subscribers. Because that's the one which is the variant of the Gladius, which has got more missiles. So it's an actual different hull to the other one. So that's the only single seat fighter I've got at the moment.
No, before that I had the Mustang on that package.
Which one, Alpha or Beta?
Alpha.
That's a cool ship. I do like the beta though, because it's kind of like a space camper van. Have you ever had one of those?
No, I never had a beta.
You should buy one with rec and see it. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna waste my rec. I'm always like buying, like, I want to upgrade my Buccaneer to because I don't actually have a Saber. What I have is just a Saber with rec. I buy it every month.
Oh, so you don't actually have a Saber?
No, not for the PU, but I do have.
Oh, okay.
I have because I have shit tons of rec. Because I play a lot of Arena Commander. You're
a subscriber as well, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. So I have tons of rec. So yeah, so even that, the Saber costs like 16 or 18,000 rec.
So you want to basically buy one?
I have a Buccaneer, and I have a Buccaneer, Super Hornet. I have a bunch of different fighters, but I don't have a Saber. So I want to get the Saber. I drop the Buccaneer and upgrade to a Saber when the sale comes out. I'm assuming there'll be one in like Gamescom or CitizenCon or something.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do. I've got a M50 which I want to upgrade to a 350R. I've always wanted a 350R because it's cool. Although, if I had to choose between the 350R and the Razor, I don't know. That'd be a difficult decision, man, because they're both pretty cool. But the 300 series are getting a redo. So it depends on how they
not anytime soon, buddy. Have you checked?
No, not anytime soon. But they are planned to be modernized, so to speak.
They need to really. Man, I don't know. I know they have to do these things, modernizing and reworks, but I just prefer if they just release new ships.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see what the redone Freelancer DUR is going to be like. The exploration variant, because that's going to be needed in 3.0. That's going to be one of the more interesting reveals for me, because I've always liked the DUR. Because the Freelancer I've always fancied as a decent ship, although it was pretty good. Decent unmanned turrets with powerful guns. Decent cargo range. With the DUR, you've got the extended fuel tanks, so you can actually go further. And obviously the sensors to explore. So that was going to be my main ship that I would use when playing solo. But again, we have no idea what that's going to look like, because all we've seen is the base model.
And the Cutlass now looks just crazy good.
Yeah, the new Cutlass looks awesome. But I do get annoyed when you see all these slightly reskinned versions of the fighters when you've still got variants for other ships that haven't been done.
Yeah, I agree. They need to sort of to me, get all the variants done on the ships that are out, and forget about these reworks, because I know a lot of people will shoot me for saying skip the 300 rework and get all the variants out and then do the 300 rework. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Go back and redo the things you need to modernize after everything's been done to the current quality level.
Yeah,
because ultimately it's just going to be a visual upgrade for the 300 series. It's not going to be given any more hard points or any more capability. It's just going to look better.
It's sort of like the Hornet thing when they did the Hornet.
People can still fly those ships and fight with them and do whatever without any problems. The only difference is they have to wait a while for it to look better. But at the moment, people who have a Freelancer DUR or a Cutlass Blue, for example, can't even fly the basic model because you get a black or nothing.
Yeah,
and that's the old version.
The red and blue is supposed to be coming out in 3.1, so there's that. And they need to. I think the all the Freelancer variants will be out by the end of the year, according to the schedule report, which would be good.
I don't know what they were trying to do with this. I didn't actually read that newspaper. I'm guessing they were trying to pimp. I guess go back to the beginning. Let's freeze frame it, so we can actually see what it says. It must be some sort of newspaper article about.
I think it's about server architecture and how this company is supporting the Star Citizen. It says with Star Citizen we do something. So I can't quite
something amount of data, and I can't read what it says.
Unfortunately, our fiber network can handle it. I think it said, or something like that. So I think there's just an advert of this company is handling their sort of fiber needs, network connection needs.
Yeah, a bit of advertising.
Yeah, I mean,
which I'm not massively pissed off about, but ultimately this should be all about us paying them to bring it, not them actually making money out of it. But I jest a little.
I like his Polaris T-shirt.
Yeah, I bought one. in the when they brought out the merchandise. Oh, did you see that? They've brought new merchandise out.
No.
Yeah, so you can get a Squadron 42 hat. You know, I was bitching about the fact I don't have a Star Citizen cap.
Did you get one?
I bought one. Yeah.
When's
It's not here yet.
You're gonna wear it.
It'll take a
wear
while.
it
So I
next
gotta.
time?
It's not out yet.
Oh, I thought you said you bought
It's
it.
what I bought it, but they haven't. They haven't actually. They're not available to be shipped yet.
They haven't made them yet. You just bought the idea of a hat.
No, you can see what they look like. But yeah, so I picked up the Squadron 42 hat. And this is all with credit I had in my account anyway. So the Squadron 42 hat, the Polaris shirt, which I think looks pretty cool, and the Tara mouse mat, which I thought looked really nice. I might actually get it framed and stick it up on the wall because it was actually that good.
I need a new cap. I think I'll buy one too, actually.
Yeah. Well, get on there because they're limited.
Oh, really?
Limited numbers. Shit. But you get it cheaper as a subscriber as long as they've got some left. In fact, I'll check for you because I'm not doing any of the video shit. So I'll have a look and tell you if you've got any left.
Yeah, well, there they are. The Banu coming up in a second when Chris is done jabbering along.
Yes, shut up, Chris. For Christ's sake. Jabber. They still have some left. They're $18 if you're a subscriber, although it might be cheaper for you because I have to pay 20% fucking VAT.
Yeah, that Banu looks like he's been on he's been on like one of those weight gain programs, protein shakes or something.
Was that a Banu? Was that a Jean?
That was a Banu.
You sure?
No, you're right. It might be the Jean. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because if it was a green dude, he looks like a turtle, doesn't he?
Yeah, Jean. It's the Jean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Jean looks like he's been on a protein shake diet or something.
Yeah. Beefcake.
Oh dear. Anyway.
But it just looks a bit too much like a turtle.
Jean. You gotta remember that. It's a tricky one to pronounce if you're not used to it. So what are we doing? Oh, so here we go. This was the mission system, the sort of Miles Eckhart thing, I think it was, where like he gives out a bunch of missions, or he can give out a bunch of missions.
Yeah, they mentioned that. It does look like we'll be getting a shitload of work from him.
But it also looks from that map. It looked like
that's Levski again.
It is Levski. That looks amazing. But I lost my train of thought now. Miles Eckhart. So it looks like from him, we won't be sort of just getting like conversation, like special missions it looks like almost that there was like outlaw mission or savior mission, like sort of like randomly generated substantial missions from him too. Yep. But we'll see.
This is where they were talking about the damage states on the Cutlass Black.
The thing is that the new one?
Well, yeah,
that looks like the old one. No, there's a new one. Okay.
It's because it's got the side doors on it, but that does look like a pretty cool ship. I wouldn't be surprised if that goes up in value when it comes out because it's been made beefier, for want of a better word.
I have my Cutlass. I have all the Drake ships actually, except for the Herald. So
there, you can borrow mine.
I prefer the Terrapin. I like the Terrapin.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Herald is in danger of being changed to something else because effectively the Herald and the Terrapin are one and the same. Apart from, I think, no, they can do both the same job. So I think
I know, but one is Drake and one is not. So one is Anvil. So I mean, that's okay to have two ships on the same different brands doing the same thing. If they were the same brand, then that would be an issue. But
yeah, I mean, I tend to have one that does everything. Plus, I'd prefer an Anvil ship over a Drake ship because they won't rattle to pieces.
Blasphemy.
But we'll see. But if it turns out that it is effectively exactly the same deal, then I may upgrade it to something else, although I don't know what.
What on earth is that guy doing? He looks like he's having a big fit.
Reaction. That was the animation reactions to taking damage in the ship.
It looked like he was completely going crazy there.
So it's, at the moment, when you get shot, you don't actually there's no reaction at all, but
right.
Obviously they're going to be adding jinx, so your bloke moves around when you're getting shot.
It's harder to aim if you get hit. Is that what they're aiming
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not a bad thing.
More immersion.
Yeah, definitely more realistic. I like that. Sounds good. Okay, what else was in this one? Oh dear.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, does it?
That's not good.
Somebody's going to be being sick. Ugh. Or dead, looking at that. Oh, look at that. That's awesome.
That's freaky, right? Looking down at your teeth. Oh dear. Have you watched this one?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, that's where the notes came from, dude.
That's true. That's a good point. No, this one was all about Spectrum. That's right. That's why everyone was bitching in Reddit. Did you see that? Like all of
I haven't checked the Reddit in probably about a week, to be honest.
And there was so much like, why the hell do we have to watch this crap about Spectrum?
Yeah, there are so many people who don't understand that Spectrum is going to be integral. It's going to be an overlay like Steam.
Well, he talks about it. He talks about it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and basically it's going to be like Steam and Origin. So you press Shift and F1 or whatever, and then you'll have your Spectrum will come up, and then you can do stuff. And some of it will be available in game. Some of it you have to bring up the overlay. So yeah, stop bitching, people. It's important. Listen to it.
Listen to Mr. Obsessite. I'm telling you, he's right.
Yeah.
No, but I think they're currently working on that, so I think we'll see that reasonably soon. I think it was in the schedule report for like 3.1, I think it is, for the Spectrum integration system. So that should be pretty awesome when that comes around, because you'll be able to group using Spectrum 2 then, which will be...
Yeah, I mean, the improvements they were talking about in Spectrum were quite cool. The way you could actually choose between a nested thread and a chronological view. You can actually specifically say that's how I want to see my shit. I'm old school. Or I want to see the nested thread. So I want to be able to
I'm really
use
not
all these.
fussed either way. Yeah,
no. And they're allowing people to actually bookmark tags as well, which is pretty cool. So if you have a thread which is tagged Star Marine and you actually save that to your left sidebar, you'll get everything which gets that tag added to it, which is
more like submenus, which is like a subcategory, really, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. It'll be useful, I suppose, if you're interested in one specific kind of tag.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what the aim of tags is, to create subcategories. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's what they for everywhere else, isn't it?
Yeah. So. What else we got?
He always seems pretty chilled out, doesn't he?
He does. He doesn't seem like bothered at all about any of it. And then we have Mike Jones doing the whole DevOps sort of. I guess they call it something different now, but it's basically DevOps.
He's got a ridiculous frigging title. I didn't actually put it on the notes, but they've merged the IT and DevOps together, and he's now in charge of. He's the director for all of it.
And I think shit, doesn't he?
I think the DX racers have got like a Star Citizen version of the colors. See what does it say on the back of his chair? Like DX Racer Star Citizen or something? Or unless someone's just stuck a sticker on the back, would you be phallus?
Probably. BuildBot. Yes.
Yeah, I think this is the automation tool they use to spin up new VMs, I think.
Yeah, I think...
it was like a massive tease, because I was actually going through it going, oh, that's cool. How do they do that? What program's that? I can't really work it out, because they've basically clipped out all of the headers and footers, so you can't actually read which software it is. And it's not something I've used, otherwise I'd recognize it.
It's a sticker.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's like a sticker.
Yeah, I was cheap. This chair isn't a DX Racer, but I think when it eventually dies, I'll get one, because they're supposed to be really comfy.
Do you know chairs don't die, right?
I have a rather large bottom.
I'm like, how many chairs do you go through, Jay? Mate?
No. I mean, literally, it might die in about 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will be all right for a while. I don't break him every month. Yeah, it's not a line I have on my company's expenses sheet. New chair for CEO, because he's a fucking stupid idiot and keeps breaking his chair. But this was pretty interesting, because I was like, see, to the top left-hand corner, I was like, what's that icon? I don't recognize that. I must work out what software package they're using. But I did in the end. And
what is it?
You're going to find in my notes. Hang on. It's Grafana.
Grafana
is what they...
Grafana monitoring suite of tools, okay.
Yeah, I've never used it personally, but it does sound like it's the shit when it comes to virtualization. So that's good. I'm a SolarWinds man myself, but if they want to try something else, that's up to them. The fools.
SolarWinds. So yeah, this all looks pretty tight. I mean, they're definitely improving their back end architecture to enable speedy build creation, and because right now it sounds like it can take hours to create a build from.
Yeah, because they were talking about the current build system is 6 servers with a total of 240 virtual cores and 2.3 terabytes of RAM. So that's the current deployment system they use. And then they've added on. I'm looking at my notes here because I did make a note of it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, here you go. You can see they've added in those 3 VMs on the hosts on the end, 48 vCPUs each, and 192 gigs of RAM, which is not cheap. So that's where a lot of our money's going on that sort of infrastructure.
Yeah,
but they're using it.
They don't have to worry about AWS, the game service anymore, which is nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is all local build stuff, so it's not anything up in EC2. Right. So it's all the local stuff they use in-house, which is good. And then obviously they release builds then up to Amazon when they need to.
Yeah. Well, once they built it, yeah. Because I love this whole AWS system of like the old gaming companies like EverQuest, and they all had their own servers, and it was a massive drag on their sort of infrastructure because they never knew what what they needed, the amount of servers they needed. They always had to get more servers when their capacity reached it. But in this system, you just spin up another server and away you go.
Yeah, exactly. I use them a little bit for test and dev in my own business, but it's kind of terrifying if you don't remember to turn things off if you're outside the free tier, because it goes per tick. So it can get expensive pretty damn quick.
It can, but I'm pretty sure that Star Citizen have some sort of deal with Amazon because they're using Lumberyard and they're promoting Lumberyard.
Yeah. I mean, this is where they were talking about all those blips on the map there are the current AWS regions. And he pulls back to another Amazon slide, which shows you the new regions that are about to be opened. So you've got here one in London, one in Paris, one in Ningxia. So, but it's good though. You can see that Amazon are actually predicting Brexit because they've got a London region coming out and a Paris region. So we can shift all our stuff out of Ireland and stick it in London, because that means it would have to, because a lot of financial houses need to have their data in the UK. So if we do lease Europe, then we'd have to move everything out of Ireland.
Do you think they'll move offices? Do you think like the Frankfurt Manchester UK would ever move because of Brexit?
No, Foundry 42 is going to stay. I can't see them moving away from the United Kingdom because they wouldn't, would they? You know what I mean?
I mean, they might if it becomes difficult to hire good coders and good, from EU, because the immigration deal they make is, not good enough. What if they can't get the talent they need? Is my point.
Well,
I guess they could just stick that talent they in Frankfurt or something like that, I guess.
Well, the thing is, they've got a lot of internal. I mean, obviously, Frankfurt would have a lot of will have all of the European people in it. London will pick up on the expertise that there is in the UK, and there still is enough of it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have based it in Manchester. I think they'll be okay. I can't see them shutting the UK office.
Well, I was just thinking they might move it to because the financial sector is thinking about moving all this shit to to Germany or France or something. But
I can't see it happening.
Yeah,
myself.
Probably not. But it's just something to think about, I guess.
It depends on how much of a complete chucklehead Theresa May and her chums are, really. If they're sensible and actually accept that we'll have to pay a little bit, then happy days.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's not bring politics into this conversation, because we've been going on for years.
It entered the realm because of it might affect our project of Star Citizen.
Oh yeah, I love this video. It's brilliant. All the IT engineers of my ilk, they're building this new cabinet. Blah blah blah. None of them are there with CIG clothes at all. They're all basically the stuff that they would normally go to work in. It's brilliant. And
And
they rack all these servers and they have to move them because the fiber cables aren't long enough, which is just brilliant.
That sounds like something had happened, you know.
Yeah, it's like real world problems. You started there, standing going, oh shit, what's happening? Oh fuck, we need to move them because the cables aren't long enough. Okay, everybody move the stuff. The only thing that's missing is somebody standing there offering biscuits and having a cup of tea. Otherwise, it's pretty much real world IT right there. I love it.
Yeah.
And that chap there on the computer, he could be playing, F-Zero or being a DJ. You know what I mean?
And
aside,
here's him doing his cable sorting, cable organization.
Someone's got to do it. And in fairness, it does look pretty neat when he's finished. But can you imagine if you had to unbundle one cable because it broke? What a ball ache that would be. I mean, I'd rather have it look nice and pretty there. But if a cable fails, that's where having it ultra pretty.
Cables don't fail that often, dude. I got to be fair. Cables are not known for their failure rate.
No, they don't. But the law of sod applies.
I know it does, but like,
and it'll be the most awkward one to get out.
They're not hard drives, you know.
No. I've seen people that have really nice tight braids of cables like that, and they've had to replace one, and all they've done is unplugged the failed one, braided the new one in, and left the failed one in the braid because they can't get it out.
I can see that happening. I used to be a network engineer, so
yeah, shit happens.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think we're pretty much done with these episodes of ATV. I think we're caught up.
I think so, yeah. So how do you think things have gone over the last
4 weeks?
Well, it's pretty much month, isn't it, really?
Well, it's been a month since we talked about ATV, but it's only been 2 weeks since we've done an episode.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But no, I
think
for
people who haven't tuned in yet, we had a lot of ground to cover this week.
We did. So it's going to go long. It's a long one this time. But yeah, I mean, I think overall they're doing well. They're progressing. The pipe system is done. I think it was. They said they finished that. They finished the what is it? I'm gonna give me a second here, people. I'm gonna check something. We're gonna go to Reddit. I need to go to Reddit. Reddit. There's a list on Reddit.
Well, here we go. Mark Hamill, everybody. Just whilst he's going through Reddit.
Where is it?
I mean, seriously, how cool does that look? That looks awesome.
It does look good. Where the fudging hell is it? It's got to be here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so basically they finished the atmospheric entry game code. They finished the power supply and pipe system. They finished the UI owner component system for items, and they finished the atmospheric entry graphics. So those things were done this week, and since the last ATV, which was a week ago.
Yeah. One of the things we were going to mention was that the ridiculous build competition they have in the network in the IT team is about who can have the most ridiculous built rig. One would hope that the money isn't coming from CIG's coffers to pay for these ridiculous builds, but they're pretty ingenious, pretty steampunk.
I'm really hoping sometime soon. I see them out a little bit. They're not quite up to par. The water coolers for graphics cards. I'm really because I have a water cooler on my CPU. I'm really pleased with it. And I'm really looking forward.
Really?
What?
I told you I was going to put water cooler on my CPU, and you were like, "Oh, I don't know if I could trust water with my CPU."
I'm comfortable with the one I got.
Oh, okay. What'd you go for? Which manufacturer?
I think it's Corsair. I think.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
So I'm pleased with that. I mean, it was the fan system I had was just as good in terms of like cooling because it was one of the best coolers. But less noise, and because I'm doing a lot of recordings, I like less noise because I don't get that sort of background fan noise then.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the videos that I watched that you put up for oh my god,
XCOM.
Thank you, XCOM 2. I don't hear any background noise. It's very good. I need to get a better microphone because I'm quite aware that this is pretty shit. Even though it's an expensive headset. $140 worth, I think, or 140 quid's worth. It's still pretty shocking how rubbish these.
This is my mic right here.
Yeah, it's nice. What is it?
It's a Procaster from Rode, Rode, Procaster.
Rode. Yeah. Let me Google it whilst we talk, and then I will cry and see how much they are.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad. It's not a crazy number. And they got a little, shock things to prevent like tapping of if you knock it, it doesn't make sounds and stuff like that. So
Rode Procaster broadcast dynamic microphone. Is that the one you got?
Yeah.
It looks about right. Yeah. That's not bad. 157 of your British pounds from Amazon.
Yeah, it's decent. And I got like, an arm so that I don't have to, so I can move it out of the way if I need to. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about getting one of the, what are they called? Something Yeti?
Yeah,
Blue Yeti?
Blue Yeti. They're okay. I tried them. They're not that great. They're condenser mics, and condenser mics pick up a lot of background noise. So what you want if you're in a sort of environment where there's a lot of noise, background noise anyway, like fans or talking, is you want a dynamic mic, which doesn't pick up quite as much. The range, the vocal range can be a lot different, but condenser mics are sort of great when a room is quiet. But
Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, sorry, totally derailed the episode there, but there we go.
It can be important information for someone who wants to start a podcast.
Exactly.
And I had to sort of try and figure this stuff out myself, so why not offer some of my knowledge that I've gleaned from all my research to help fellow podcasters make their life easier.
Yeah. So. Bit of advice I'd give is when you buy your lighting, try not to get the actual bulbs that are so bright it looks like you've been nuclear radiated.
Well, I've got Lifix bulbs, which means you can adjust the color and intensity of each light individually. So that's why I went.
Yeah, I just had to go with the cheap ass bulb option, mate. I might get some better bulbs later.
Yeah, I will have to. They're $50 each, the Lifix bulbs, but you control them via your phone. It's like it has a little app here.
No, pretty cool.
So you can just change the color. Pick any color you want and the rainbow. You can even set it so that the bulbs change color based on the music. Like there's a music visualizer connected to the bulb, so it looks like a disco in here when you turn that on.
Okay, I don't think I'll be needing that.
The kids like it.
Yeah, I bet they do. Well, let me think. Probably Gwen likes it better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll call this a day. We've done.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, we've missed out on purpose. We've decided to focus this on ATV only and not any of the other episodes.
Happy hour is fun, but it's not really. There's not really a whole lot. It's more like instructional videos. They are happy hour, rather than sort of information, sort of dumps, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one thing we kind of glossed over, we didn't mention, so I think we should cover it pretty quickly before we end, is our takes on the referral contest. Oh, so obviously now I've told you that it isn't a standing start and it's lifetime referrals from ever. Whenever. What do you think about it?
I don't think they should be doing a referral contest yet. Like I said before, the game is not a game. It's a tech demo. It's a good fun tech. I enjoy the game. I play it a lot, but it is not for the general public, and people should not be. I know they want more. They need more money to make the game better and better and better. I understand that. But until they have I think it would have been much better served to be announced or released when 3.0 came out. Sort of like in conjunction with 3.0. Here, guys, go away. Refer us now. We've got something that people will want to play. That's where I am.
So, given that, and I agree with you, by the way, that it wasn't necessarily the right time for it. Why do you think they did it? Why do you think they released it now? What do you think?
Maybe because they released the 3 schedule and they figured, well, the 3 schedule's out, so we know it's coming soon. I mean, that's sort of, and I don't think they have money problems. That's not where I think it is. I think they're trying to drive up hype for the game, which is fine, but I don't think they needed to do it now. I think they needed to do it when 3.0 comes out, when they have something that people will like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, I think they misjudged it. I think they did it too early, and I think that it's the way that they've given certain people a head start effectively by saying it's lifetime referrals. It's frankly pissed a lot of people off. Not us, because we're never about that. We do this podcast because we enjoy Star Citizen. We like talking about it, And, we're not in it to make any money. Otherwise, you'd be having adverts. Like this episode is brought to you by some stupid food company. We'd have adverts on it and all the rest of it. We just do it because we enjoy it and we like to share our opinions, right? But there are others who make their money out of it, and they're going to have a huge head.
If they want to do that.
Exactly. But they'll have a huge head start on referrals to anybody else. So it's not a fair competition.
No, I know. I agree with you. I didn't realize they sort of had the sort of head start because of people who had already done it. But I'm not going to be pedantic. I don't do the whole referral program. I might do them when 3.0 comes out. And if I'm like, holy shit, people need to play this, then yeah, I'll start doing. I'll even put my referral code up here into this podcast, and you can do yours too. If we,
we'll just stick it in the comments.
Yeah, we'll just stick it in the comments. So.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about that. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I think you're getting closer now. Now that they've actually given us a range of the actual dates for 3.0, I think you're probably going to end up being the winner out of the two of us of the guess the date competition.
We'll see, but it looks like it looks like it's heading that way.
And I don't think we're going to necessarily see anything exciting apart from potentially the release dates for the first couple of episodes of Squadron. Based on what Ben said. Well, you said yourself, maybe Ben was giving us a hint.
It was, but I think it was just a pun on May the 4th be with you. I think that's what, I mean, I'm leaning towards it being a pun or some sort of joke. I don't think they're going to give us a date for Squadron anytime soon. I don't even think we'll see Squadron this year. I think it'll be 2018 at the earliest. I think 3.0 will be enough to keep people busy. I think there will be so much content in 3.0 that people will sort of almost forget about Squadron for a little bit.
Okay. So based on the fact that Bind Culling's been delayed, you reckon that it's going to be probably 2018 at the earliest, simply because a lot of the core stuff isn't ready.
Yeah, some of the core stuff. I mean, admittedly, I don't think Squadron uses Bind Culling. It doesn't give a shit about it because there's no network code in Squadron. But there are other core techs that are not in the game. So I think until those other core techs that are due out at the end of the year are in the game, I don't see how they can possibly finish the Squadron 42. I mean, to me, it doesn't make any sense that they could do that. I mean, until they have like jump points in the game, how are they going to do Squadron 42? I mean, they said they want to be able to just, go down to a planet and get up, and they want it to be a sort of an open world, is what they say. So I mean, unless they have the tech in the game, all the tech to create Squadron 42, how are they possibly going to release it?
Yeah, unless they've been sandbagging something awful.
I don't.
From what we've seen, everything that they've released, and they're pretty open as far as we know. You're right. I don't think we're going to be seeing it. Christmas is what I'm going to put my money on still, simply because...
Very optimistic.
I am an optimist, you know me. But you're probably right. You're going to be 2018 at the earliest, I think. But I'm still going to say Christmas, simply because I'd like to see it happen. For no other reason than it'd be a great way to stick the finger up at the naysayers.
It'd be nice. I mean, I'd be happy if it came sooner, but I think they added... The thing is, the reason it got delayed, Squadron, is because they added so much more things to it. Originally, it didn't have procedural planets. You weren't landing on them. Now they are. So there's content changes, tech changes. There's all kinds of shit. It's basically adding another project to a project, basically. So...
yeah, there's so much going on. Unless they stick everything on the back burner and concentrate on Squadron, then I just can't see it happening. Regardless of how many people they have, they got to be 500 people worldwide?
No, I think that's
developing this now.
450 or something like that now. I think it is. Yeah. 450 to 500.
But still, it's not a small amount of people.
No.
Even so, I still think there's going to have a bit of a wait.
I don't think that one.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think we can call it a day. But I don't think they're worried about money right now. A lot of people complain saying, "Oh, this referral program means they must be low on funds." I don't think they're low on funds, but I definitely think they made a wrong choice in doing the referral program now. But
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if they were low on funds, they wouldn't be offering discounts on the merchandise they just revealed for backers. It would just be a flat fee for everybody. It can't be that. It's literally just they thought it was a good idea, and I honestly think the marketing team got it wrong this time.
I don't see how they could have thought that was a good idea, but maybe because they play the 3.0 branch all the time, they're like, oh, no, this game is amazing. Why wouldn't the people, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they got confused with the fact that we're still on 2.63. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe none of them actually plays our build anymore, and everybody else plays.
Like, why wouldn't they want to play this? This is amazing. Oh shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Forgot about that. All right, cool. Well, I mean, obviously, we'll aim to come back in another couple of weeks unless something amazing happens. Let us know if you want us to speak or tackle anything that we haven't actually done yet.
Put down in the comments.
What you think you've glossed over, stick it in the comments. If you like it, like it. If you don't, well, hit that thumb down button and let us know if you think we can do better. But thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.